Hi everyone, welcome to Mind Power Monday. It's our second session of our Mind Power sessions. So I'm super excited to be here with you. I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend and week. I should probably introduce myself before I get started and while we're waiting for people to pop on. And again, for those of you who did tune in last week, that was my very first Facebook Live. So today is my second Facebook Live. So I'm learning. Last time I realized that I needed to scroll to be able to read comments, so I wasn't reading the comments real time. So hopefully I will remember to do that today. Anyhow, I'm Melanie Robinson, and I am a real estate investor. Hi, Sean. Saw that you just tuned in. I'm going to become a pro at this. Anyhow, I'm a real estate investor. We have done a couple of new builds. We've done several flips. We've done some burrs, and we're currently in the process of building a fourplex and have a project in Abbotsford coming up. So my focus at the moment is on long-term buy and holds with joint venture partners. So I am right here alongside all of you, learning and growing and wanting to do the best that I can do. Oh, thanks for the thumbs up, whoever joined in there, thank you. And so why, as a real estate investor, am I on here sharing with you about Mind Power Mondays? My background is in NLP. I'm a master practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, which some of you might be familiar with and others may not. But it's a study of the mind, how the mind works, strategies that people run. It's an incredibly vast model that really helps people excel in their businesses and in their lives. So I joined our family business back in 2001. Oh, I see all these emojis. It's fun to watch and talk at the same time. Oh, hey, Cameron. Hey, Deb, Donna. Yay, anyways, it's fun learning how to do all this. Anyhow, we have been doing corporate training, coaching, and consulting. Like I said, since 2001 is when I joined in, and working with high-level performers who are masters at what they do. There's no doubt about that, but are really wanting to get better and become the best that they can be. And that does come down to who we are, how our brain works, how our thoughts affect our results, and so on. So that's what I'm super passionate about. And that's when Corey and Tiffany invited me onto the Fearless page to offer this. I was super honored and I'm excited. None of this is rocket science. It's not going to be new information that you haven't heard before, but it just brings it into the forefront of your mind and gives you something to pay attention to, something where maybe there's a little opportunity for you to grow, change something. Just notice what you notice. That's all that this is about. So what are we going to talk about today? Today we are going to talk about thinking about what you want, not what you don't want. So once again, I want that to digest for a moment. Thinking about what you want, not what you don't want. So I'll give you an example. Don't think of a purple elephant. Do not think of a purple elephant. What happens when I say that? You have to think of a purple elephant. You actually have to think of the purple elephant in order to tell yourself not to think of the purple elephant. So when you think about what you don't want, you actually have to imagine getting that before you can then, if you remember to, tell yourself not to. So how does that play out in our world of real estate investing? So as an example, if you're thinking, I don't want to struggle forever financially. I don't want to struggle forever financially. What happens when we say that? We actually have to imagine struggling financially. We have to make that picture in our mind, which it's certainly not motivating. Let's say that. As soon as you say that, something inside of you, it's like a deflation. It's not a motivation. If you're thinking you're about to do a presentation, a joint venture presentation, or go to a networking event, and you're thinking, I don't want to mess up. I don't want to mess up, or I don't want to work forever, or I'm tired of being stressed. Whatever it is, if you're thinking about what you don't want, I don't want to work forever. I don't want to struggle financially. I don't want to work forever, or what it might be. I don't want to be stressed. When you're thinking about what you don't want, you're imagining that happening. And what does that do? Two things. One, it makes you feel crummy. And as I said last time, so I'll say it again, a big part of my motivation is I really do care about how people feel. And I think life is short and we want to feel as good as we can feel while we're living it. So anything we can do to change how we're feeling in the moment so that we have a better experience, I'm all for that, and I love sharing that. So that's one part of it. When you're thinking about these things that you don't want, and not even maybe realizing that you're doing that, you're actually imagining it, and it's not motivating at all. Whereas if you think about what you do want, if you think about being financially free, if you think about achieving whatever property goals you have, if you think about doing an amazing job at a presentation or at a networking event, having a great conversation, if you think about those things, again, it's like what we talked about last week, you're going to feel great. You're going to exude a certain message to the people that you're talking to, and you're going to be setting that intention within yourself. So again, are you thinking about what you want, or are you thinking about what you don't want? It's similar to goal setting in all reality. If you're imagining what you don't want and you're thinking about that over and over again, it's like you're setting it as a goal in your future. So be really careful and start to notice. Because if you're thinking about what you do want and you're setting those goals and you're setting those intentions, you're much more likely to be achieving them. You're much more likely to be feeling inspired to be able to go and take action to achieve them. And it's not changing anything in your world. It's literally just changing how you're thinking about it. Are you thinking about what you want, or are you thinking about what you don't want? It's really that simple. So I want you to start to notice how you're thinking. I want you to start to notice if your natural tendency is to be thinking what you don't want. And if it is, start to switch it over to thinking about what you do want. Because another side of that is if you're talking to a potential joint venture partner and you're saying, you don't have to worry if you invest with me. What have you just told them? Without meaning to, they're imagining themselves worrying while working with you. Subtle, so subtle, you'd never even know you were doing that. But that's what's happening. So you want to say, I'll take care of you. You get to go and focus on the things that you love while I take care of our tenants. It's just changing your wording, but it's sending a very different message to the people that you're communicating to. And again, it's twofold. You're sending a different message to yourself so that it feels a lot better, and you're sending a different message to those out there that you're talking to. And actually it's threefold, not threefold. Cameron would like that, threefold. Anyhow, threefold, because you're also setting the intention that that's going to be the outcome. So again, just a tiny little tidbit, Mind Power Monday. Use your mind to achieve the results you want. And this week, go out there and notice, what's your natural tendency? Are you focusing on what you want, or are you focusing on what you don't want? And if you're focusing on what you don't want, I highly recommend that you start to change it and start to think about what you do want and see how your experience changes. Feel free to drop notes in the comments after this once you play with it a little bit. It's all about noticing, just noticing those little areas that you can shift so that you can excel and catapult yourself to the next level of success in your real estate investing business. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you found this helpful. Hopefully you're able to pay attention and notice where you're able to make some tiny shifts. And have a fantastic week, and we will see you next week on Mind Power Monday. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.